So good evening. Welcome back to another show. Tonight I'm John and I've got my guest with me, Jake, cultural supporter. Jake, how are you today, mate?
Hey John, I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm great. Not too bad, not too bad. It's
Good.
hot today, like it's hot where I'm at in Bristol. And what I was things with you, my guy?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Same. Yeah, very hot. Whew, like we're back in Italy, so good timing, hey?
You're back. Oh wow, whereabouts in Italy do you live in? Like, is it in Empoli or is it in Florence?
Oh no, just in. I go to Empoli, yeah, quite a
Yeah,
bit. But I was saying that just this weather is like we're back in Italy now. We can pretend we're there.
fair enough, fair enough. I tell you what, I wish I was in Italy, man. I wish I was in a place like Rome or Venice sort of thing. Venice is
I know.
beautiful. Rome's
I know.
fantastic. You know what I mean? But it's not Judith Chalmers holidays. It's this is the Serie A review, and it's something different, something new. I'm going to do more of this as well, gang. And if you do like my videos, could you please smash the likes up and also subscribe if you are new. I've got 696 people subscribing to us. And yeah, we're going to talk something different. We're going to talk about Serie A review. But before I do that, quick chat about Empoli. First of all, congratulations. Get back into Serie A. You deserve to be promoted. And congratulations. Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah, it was a great season. So yeah, if people don't know, Empoli are just a small town in Tuscany, and we've been in Serie A before, but not stayed there for very long. But yeah, we smashed Serie B this year. It was a great achievement. We only lost 3 games all season, so it was great. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to being back in Serie A next year and seeing what happens.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, I watched a couple of your games as well. You score some goals, and I've been very impressed. You play like a diamond formation and sometimes 4-2-3-1, and your coach as well. Demis, is it Demis? His name is, if I pronounce it right.
Dionysi, yeah.
That's it. Dionysi, I should have known better, but what a coach he is, man. And he's done a good job with you. And he only just joined you as well, didn't he? It's in the beginning of the season. He only just joined you.
Yeah, he's come from basically nowhere really. He was playing in Serie C, and then a few years ago, he's very young, and then he took over a few teams in Serie C. Got them promoted, did very well. Took over Venezia last season and stabilized them as a club, and then came to Empoli. And I didn't really expect much, to be honest. We came mid-table last season, and didn't do anything. But yeah, he's completely turned us around, got us promoted, and now he's being linked to jobs in Serie A. So hopefully we manage to keep him because we'll need him for next season for sure.
Absolutely, because he deserves a chance. I don't think he should move. He should stay at Empoli, learn his trade in Serie A, and do the best he can with your team. And hopefully, he keeps you up. And yeah, and you got a small capacity at Empoli, 16,000.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
16,000. Go on, and you use that some cracking players. Go on, Carol, you go for it.
I was just going to say, yeah, it's a small ground, but it's a great atmosphere. I'd encourage people to go. It's easy to travel to Florence, so you can take in a Fiorentina game as well around the same time. And yeah, it's a great family atmosphere in some stands, and then the ultras are great as well. They're very welcoming as well, so very easy to get a ticket. Good prices. You can drink beer in the stadium. Why wouldn't you go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got my friend as well, Peter Emlenden as well, and he goes to all the Italian games as well. And big up to him. And if he wants to come on my channel to have a chat sort of thing about Italian football, he's always welcome to. Pete, if you're listening, you're always welcome to, my friend. And yeah, and it's easy to get to, cheap to get to. So I've never done Empoli. I'll probably go there this season as well if we're allowed to go. And let's hope it'll be a good banner sort of thing. It looks like a lovely town, Empoli as well. And I've been to Florence. I've done Naples, Rome. I've done Bologna, Venice, Brescia. Have I done Brescia? I've been past Brescia, Milan, Venice. Been to Verona. All these like cities in Italy as well. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. So where do you expect Empoli to do next season? Do you expect them to stay up? Do you expect them to survive this season?
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be tough, very tough. I'd be very happy with staying up if we can come 16th. I'll take that. Grab your hands. But
yeah, man.
we could go down. We need to improve our defense a lot. So we're going to do a Serie A review soon, and Crotone got relegated this season and conceded the most goals in Serie A history, I think, with like 92 and 93 goals. So you need a good you need a good defense, and I would say our defense is probably our weakest point, Empoli's weakest point. So something we'll need to improve. So it all depends on how the transfer window goes. But let's say yes, we'll stay up. I may as well be, you need to be optimistic in these things.
Absolutely. I mean, Federico Fernandez is available. He's out of contract, and he'll be a good signing for you as well. If he decides to leave Newcastle, I think it'll be a good signing for you, but his wage is going to be a problem at Empoli. So
yeah, for sure.
That's going to be a problem. And he has some good players over the years. You had Francesco Caputo, Donnarumma as well, and they were banging in goals for fun, were they? I mean, they got you up, didn't they? So 20 goals each. Was it 20 goals each?
Yeah.
Caputo and Donnarumma, Alfredo Donnarumma.
Yeah, that was a couple of seasons ago. Yeah, and then now Caputo's obviously established himself in Serie A at the ripe old age of 33 with Sassuolo, and we have a similar striker like now we have Mancuso. He's never played in Serie A before, and he's I think 28 or 29, and he was scored 20 goals this season in Serie B. So hopefully he can make the step up like Simi did this season, and that would be great. And we need those goals to stay up. You need a goal scorer.
Absolutely. We come on to Simi later on, and he's played Crotone. That 20 goals for him this season as well, and Crotone. So I mean, what a player he is, sort of thing. Big lad as well. And you also got for Empoli called Lamantia as well. You got Ryder Matos as well in the goals. You got a couple of Swiss internationals in your team as well, and Haas and Badrami as well. You've got some decent players there, Lina. I mean, you score goals all over the shop.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not worried about our attack, really. As we said, it's maybe more the defence, but hopefully we can definitely strengthen that. Some of the players also we had on loan, so they might leave again, so hopefully we can, get them back. Another player you should look out for, well, two more just quickly before we get into Serie A, which probably most people are interested in, is we have Ricci in midfield. He's a young under-21 international. He's been linked to Fiorentina and even Leicester City are interested in him, so I'm hoping we can keep him. And then Lazio are interested in Parisi, who's a left back, and he's been great so far this season. He's very young, so hopefully we can keep these for at least one season to try and raise their profile before we sell them on for the big bucks.
Sure, that's what you do at Empoli. You buy them for small and you sell them for big bucks as well. So, but that's Empoli for you. Got to keep up. You can't turn 10 million euros or 20 million euros and that. But about Empoli, so you just can it, unfortunately, because at the end of the day, the big fish like the Milan clubs, Juve, and all these clubs are going to be after you as well. But it is what it is. So away for Empoli, we're going to talk about the Serie A review and the season. Inter Milan under Conte, deservedly winners.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely smashed it, really, didn't they? I don't know how, really, though, to be honest. Even though Conte's won, I don't know if I'm convinced by him. He kind of strikes me now, to be the new Mourinho. He demands everything from the players, and they have to perform exactly his way. And if they don't, they go. He doesn't stay there at clubs very long. He falls out with players, but his results speak for themselves. I mean, what a season this season. I think Inter Milan got the most points out of any team in the top 5 leagues. Lukaku was on fire. So you can't, knock it. They deserve to win. They were great.
Yeah, I mean, they've been fantastic this season in sort of thing. You play one where you really got players like Lukaku in your team and Martinez as well, Lau Martinez as well, and you got other players who can chip in the goals as well. They have been amazing. Barella, what a player in midfield, deserved to be in the Italian national team. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, came to gallery. I love this player. He is destined to go all the way, and I think this guy's going to be captain in the future.
Yeah, I agree. He's extremely exciting. He had some signs last season for sure, but yeah, this has been a great breakout season for him. The way he plays is, so effortless. He's incredible, and I think he could be the breakout player in the Euros this year, because people interested in Italian football obviously know a lot about him, but I don't think he's very well known currently around
Yeah.
Europe, especially as I think one reason why Inter did win the league is they crashed out the Champions League early, so they didn't have any European football to focus on. So I think that also works in hiding Barella from other people. So yeah, I think he's destined for a breakout season for sure.
Definitely. I mean, I do like that player. I mean, it's amazing. And you got the three centre backs as well. Shinya, I like Shinya. I think he's a decent defender. You got the goalie as well, and Handanovic as well. He's been outstanding again. What a season he's been having again. Yet again.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a Conte thing, the way his squad is molded, and he's really, apart from Barella and maybe a couple of other youngsters, he's mostly done it with winning with veterans. You've got Ashley Young and Matteo Darmian, playing key roles in winning Serie A. It's pretty crazy, really, when you see how they performed back in the UK for United. And he even managed to get a tune out of Sanchez, which I don't think many people thought he would be able to enter. So, I think it's been great, really. They couldn't have asked for a better season.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree. What a season that. But you got Inzaghi going in now, and Simone Inzaghi for Lazio has gone on a 2-year contract. I mean, when is he going to do well for Inter? He spent all 22 years as a player, manager, coach at Lazio. He's done fantastic. He really has. And then he's got this chance now to improve on his managerial skills, Simone.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a really good manager. He's managed to really stabilize Lazio in the last 5 or 6 years, and make them a top 4 or 5 club in Italy again, when maybe they weren't at that level beforehand. I don't know if he's going into Inter at the right time. It's going to be, despite this incredible season, there's a lot of rumours now about financial difficulties, and maybe that's why Conte left. So if they have to sell some players to be able to, carry on next season, then maybe, it'll be very hard for them, I think, maybe to win Serie A again, unless they manage to keep Lukaku and he has another incredible season, But I think if they don't win, I don't think it will be down to Inzaghi, because I think he's a very good football manager. I think it might be due to external circumstances.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. But he's got to go, and he's got to be given time there, sort of thing. I mean, Inter don't tend to sack managers unless it goes horribly wrong. But I mean, I think it's Inzaghi. I think he did a good job there. He played three at the back like Conte has done, so the tactics and formation won't be a problem at all whatsoever, sort of thing. So he'll go there. He'll get a few players coming in, and he's been linked with. I don't know yet, but it'd be interesting, sort of thing. So see what happens on that one. About Atalanta, well, they've done it again, haven't they? I mean, Champions League last season, back in again. What a job Gasperini's done in a minute. Okay, I know that Papa Gomez has left to go to Seville. I don't know what happened between the two. They both didn't get along, but Zapata, he's been scoring some goals here, and also as well, Luis Muriel as well, scored some goals as well. I mean, Zapata, 15 goals this season. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. And Luis Muriel, 22 goals. And they're scoring goals for fun. I mean, how impressed are you with Atalanta? Do you think they're going to win the title next season? Do you think they'll win the thing?
Yeah, I mean, what another season they've had, it's such a great achievement. And I don't think it's respected enough. But I think it's the third time they've come third. So three seasons in a row. It's incredible, really, for the size of the club. And if you'd say it would happen again, after losing Papa Gomez halfway through the season, who is arguably their best player, then it just shows how great Gasperini is and how adaptable the squad is. And I think it would be a really big ask for them to win the Serie A next season. But I think if I was I'm not a betting man, but maybe I'd put a couple of quid in it. They should be able to keep that squad together now. Maybe sign a couple more canny players. That other people don't think about signing, and they're going to have more stability, I think, than some of the other Italian teams that are going to be challenging for the title next season. So, if you think stability is important, then yeah, they've got to be one of the favourites to win, I think, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the Atan's going to win their league, they definitely need a goalkeeper. I mean, Golina, I'm not against him or anything like that. He's a good shot stopper, but they need someone commanding in that goal. And if they're going to win the league, my guess is Atlant's going to need a goalkeeper. A lot of people haven't even said they definitely need a goalkeeper. Tats is fantastic. They feet at back, 3-4-3. Manolowski, what a player, him sort of. I like him. The Ukrainian, absolutely outstanding. Much better season. And I'm a big fan of him. So I got some comments here, by the way. I got Jess Bish, John, I hope you're fine. I got Manchester United fan, Claire, good evening, John. Hope you're having a great evening, awesome friend. Absolutely fantastic. I still want Snow, your cat. I still want to take them home, bless her. And I got Judy, and I got Judy again. I mean, she's got a question. In Serie A, what team would be the Newcastle of Italy in terms of performance and wasted potential?
It's a good question. I can probably put the boot in one of Empoli's rivals, and probably I'd say Fiorentina. Maybe they're a very big club. They should be in the top half, at least in the top half of Serie A every year, and they should be, they should be challenging for the Coppa Italia. They should be challenging for the Europa and Champions Leagues, but they're just scratching by every year, just avoiding relegation. I would say Fiorentina for sure is one of those. Don't know what you think, John.
Yeah, I want to touch on Fiorentina anyway, if you don't mind. I mean, you've got a player called Dujan Bialogic. I mean, he has been outstanding again. He's only a young lad. Was he 20?
Yeah, 29, something like that, yeah.
And he scored 21 goals this season, that guy. 21 goals. But how his scores, Fiorentina, I'm going to say, no, they will be relegated. They'd be relegated, honestly, because that team, there is something wrong with that team, right, which hasn't been functioning, right? And Pete is a Fiorentina fan. I'm so disappointed in that team. Excuse me, right? You're right. They should be battling the top 10, yeah? They got potential there. They got the fans. I've been to the stadium as well. Against Empoli, of course, yeah? When you lost by 3-1 a couple of years ago. I thought the fans are absolutely fantastic there, right? The atmosphere is great. The steering's fantastic. It's a lovely city. That team should be in the top 6. Honestly, if not the top 8, right? What has gone wrong with the last few seasons of them, right, has been absolutely shocking, right? And I really have regard for Fiorentina. I mean, that club should be battling. They keep changing managers all the time. They haven't got an identity at all whatsoever. And I tell you what, they got players like Ribery, right? Should be stepping up a little bit. Okay, he's on the wrong side of 30. I get it, sort of thing. Yeah, you got good players there, and believe you me, that Amberat as well came from Hellesville, that sort of thing. He has stepped up this season. I expect them bigger things from him, and he hasn't really done it this season. And their goalkeeper Drangowski, he's a superb keeper. He really is, But that team needs to get it right this season. Whoever they got, I believe it's Gattuso's there, isn't he? Gattuso's there next season, isn't he? I'm about to say their next appointment, they've got to get that appointment right. And they got one in Gattuso. I think he'll do a good job there. And he'll take no business at that club. And I'm sure Fiorentina will be top 8 next season if Gattuso gets it right. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not Gattuso's biggest fan tactically or anything like that. I don't know if he's the best manager in the world, but like you say, I think Fiorentina currently just need, someone to motivate them and stick a rocket up them, and that's what Gattuso's going to do. He's going to take no messing, for sure, and I think he will drag them up the table. Definitely higher than they have been. That's if they can keep the players, I think I have seen that Dragowski has been linked away potentially. He used to play for Empoli, so I like him. He's a great player. And they need to keep Vlahovic as well. If not, they'll be in trouble. But I definitely think they've got a better chance of doing better next season now than they did. They had some just they've got a managerial merry-go-round going on, or they did have, and it's not good or stable for the club, is it? So yeah, I think they'll definitely finish higher next season for sure.
Let's hope so. I mean, you got Poga as well, came for Bologna, sort of thing. He's been disappointing for me as well. He's done okay. Bonaventura as well for Milan as well. Again, that team, I mean, you don't know what Vio is going to turn up in games. They have been winning games, but not enough for me. And without, like I said, Viallo scores, without him, they'd be knackered at this moment in time. But I don't like to have a go at them because they're a lovely club. But you're right. I mean, they got at the table this season, I hope. And I'm just going to go from there. Milan, I mean, they started so well, Christmas, near the top of the table at some stage. And they they only just made it. They had to beat Atlanta away. They've done it. And yeah, Champions League for them for a long, long time. That football club should be in the Champions League. I mean, you got Zlatan as well, still going well.
Yeah, what a season! I mean, for Milan, really. I think it shows that from what I've seen online from proper AC Milan fans, no one was really disappointed that they didn't win the league because it's been such a great jump up. You know, they've been out the Champions League and Europa League for many, many seasons, and you know they should be. They're one of the biggest clubs in the world. So yes, it was disappointing that despite being top at Christmas, they managed to only come second. But as you said, you know, they needed to win on the last day of the season away to Atalanta to guarantee the top four. So the fact they managed to do that was incredible, really. And they've got some great players, you know, like I said, apart from Ibra, he was injured quite a bit, and there's a lot of other great players, you know. You got Frank Kessie, who I think is one of the best midfielders in Europe. It'll be interesting to see whether they can keep him because, you know, if I was a big club in any other country, I'd be looking at the way he plays, and I think he would be suited to the English game, in my opinion. And also like Benacer, who they got from Empoli, he's been great this season. Tonali, who they've signed for Brescia, he's not really stepped up, but he's got great potential to develop again next season. So they do have some good young players, and now it'll be interesting to see whether they can maintain a top four position as well as, you know, fighting in Europe to see how they do in the Champions. I think it's a very interesting season.
Sure. They've just got a new keeper from Lille as well, I believe, who's supposed to be one of the best keepers in France. And
so I think that means that Donnarumma's gone, it looks like, doesn't it? Which is a blow, but it seems they've done, you know, a really good job in instantly replacing him. So, you know, that's what you need to do. You need to be swift and make a big decision. And it seems like they've got another good young goalkeeper. So fair play to them.
Absolutely. And it's a shame on Donnarumma because he could have done a new deal. Milan are not very happy. Milan fans aren't happy about it, sort of thing. Where's he going to go? Apparently PSG.
Yeah, and I saw, obviously all the rumours at the start were with Juventus, and it seemed like he was nailed on to go Juventus. But yeah, maybe now PSG. I think that would be a good move for PSG. For sure, they could do with, you know, a world-class goalkeeper. I would be surprised if Juventus don't get him, to be honest, because, you know, Juventus usually get the pick of the players they want in Italy, and if they wanted Donnarumma and he chose not to go, then I think that'll be a big blow for them, to be honest.
Absolutely massive blow for Serie A. So if he does study Italian football, and I'm surprised why Premiership clubs after him. So it's what it is. And there's a defender I like as well. I mean, Tomari from Chelsea. They just signed up for £28 million. English clubs must be kicking themselves, really. This guy is going to be one of the best defenders in Europe, maybe it's in the world in years to come. This guy can tackle clean. He's a reader of the game. He's quick. And I tell you what, we was after him on a season-long loan, and Newcastle decided not to take it up. That is a huge mistake. I said, go and get him. This guy's destined. He's played for Derby as well on season-long under Lampard. But this guy is Milan. What a signing. That could be something that somehow for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great signing, and it kind of shows, you know, how many Chelsea just seem to be hard-in players, and if they can just let this player go without, you know, trying to keep him, it shows what other players they must have in their squad. But he seems to be a great defender, and that I think that's the kind of signings, that AC Milan, Atalanta, and teams that maybe currently can't financially, challenge Juventus and stuff, they need to be making these type of signings to try and get ahead of the game, because it'll turn out to be a really good signing, I think, in the long run.
Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. And I'm on to my team, Juventus. Wow. I mean, when they appoint Andrea Pirlo, I thought, okay, we see what he does, right? Young manager, very little experience, right? And he got us third in the end. And is it third or fourth in the one of the two? I think he got us fourth in the end.
Fourth,
yeah, it's fourth, so yeah, fourth in the end. And really just had to win that one because, I mean, Napoli failed to win. And if Napoli won that game, Juve would have been, well, not be top four, not be Champions League. But Pirlo got sacked. Max Allegri is back. For me, I'm quite pleased with that because he was unfinished business there. He had 5 years with us and he's going to improve. I'm hearing that Angelini and Bonucci are going to be staying. And there's going to be a couple of changes in the playing side in the summer. And it needs to, because it's been disappointing for Juve. We got beat of the likes of Fiorentina home, Benevento home. We got lost in silly games, man. It's just absolutely unbelievable. And big changes at Allianz as well. And Juve needs to bounce back very quickly. And I think this guy will do it.
Yeah, I think it just seemed to be too early for Pirlo to be given that job. And obviously, I'm an Empoli fan, so I love Maurizio Sarri, who is our old manager. And I think that kind of shows, I think the job he did last season at Juve was kind of looked over, and as in, anyone can, win the league with Juventus. And I think Pirlo proved that you couldn't do that. It's a very strange, really, because Ronaldo finished top goal scorer in Serie A by 5 goals. He scored 29 goals this season, which is still a crazy amount of goals. But I don't know. I feel like Juventus played better without him. When you had Chiesa and Dybala playing up front, you seem to be a lot more dynamic. And I don't know. It seems like it could be the end of the Ronaldo experiment, maybe. And I think you've got a lot of young players coming through, and I still think Juventus will be challenging for the title next season again. For certainly, I can't see them having a season as bad as they did this year.
They can't afford to, because they'd probably go backwards. So I think Juve are expecting to be challenging or at least go for the title next season under Allegri, and I think Juve, because they reckon they may just do that because of the Allegri fact, that sort of thing. I got some comments from Claire, by the way. Hi, you need a snowy clone, John. Looking forward to coming on your show next Tuesday. Should have come on yesterday, but she didn't feel well last week. I hope you feel better, Claire, and we're thinking of you lots as well. And Claire, you're both inspiring, Claire, to watch more Serie A football next season. Claire, you're going to watch Serie A. I believe it's, is it still on Premier Sports next season? Is it Premier Sports that's been changed?
Yeah, I think it's still on Premier Sports, as far as I'm aware, and it'll also be on some free sports. But yeah, it might change. I don't know if it's. Might have to wait till the start of the new season to see exactly where it's going to be shown in the UK, I think.
Sure, I'll be looking forward to that because I do love to try to get a game. I can't watch it all, but it'd be nice to see every single one of them. That's me plan next season, seeing them all next season. Talk about Napoli as well. Obviously, Gattuso's is left. He's gone to Fiorentina. And Sergio Conceição is the new coach from Porto. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's very interesting. I really like Napoli as a club, and the fans I think are one of the best set supporters in Serie A. So even though you pipped ahead of them, I'm quite upset that they're not got Champions League, because I do really like them as a club. And they've gone from an interesting coaching appointment this time, not sticking with an Italian, going with a Portuguese. It'll be interesting to see how that goes on, because the Neapolitan fan base are one of the most passionate, and if they don't like the manager, they'll tell them very quickly. They need to keep the best players again. Insigne needs to stay. He might do. He loves Napoli through and through, but Koulibaly is being linked with United again. He seems to be being shopped around by the Napoli owner after every season, and he's one of the best defenders in Europe, and without Champions League football, he might go. So I think it's really disappointing for the club that they missed out on Champions League for next season.
Absolutely got it for them because they play some fantastic football, quick tempo football, one-touch football as well. If it comes off, it does come off absolutely beautifully. I mean, Osimhen, according to Napoli, they're trying to lock him down to a new long-term contract as well to put him off on further clubs as well. Osimhen has been absolutely outstanding this season. I mean, scoring goals, slow start though, but he's beginning to find his feet.
Yeah, I think he got injured as well, didn't he, at the start of the season? Yeah, I think next season he'll be one to watch. And yeah, they spent a lot of money on him, but he seemed to be worth that money, I think, for sure.
Absolutely. I do think so. I think he's a wonderful player. And Koulibaly linked against United again. I think he might fancy a new challenge at some stage. He was going to make the move. Should have made it at the end of the season, sort of thing. But on the takeover, when Newcastle had a takeover that bid, where I'm doing linked to all sorts of names, Mertens, Koulibaly, Insigne, right? And I thought to myself, if we're going to take over, we're going to be Napoli's feeder club. You honestly think they're going to leave Napoli to Newcastle United? You've got to be joking, I mean, yeah. No chance of that. Absolutely no chance of that. Who's your British team? Anyway, who do you support? English team do you support, Jake?
I'm from Manchester originally, so I'm a United fan. But yeah, I follow Italian football much more now. I kind of, with all this commercialization and Super League and things like that, I'm kind of drifting away. But yeah, Manchester United is my club.
I think Miss Williams will be watching this. She'll be absolutely delighted. And, I've got Man United followers anyway every week sort of thing. And you know what it is? Their fans just absolutely amazing. They really are amazing. And, let's hope they win the title next season if it's not going to be our team. But so you need to
have to be a bit of a stretch for you, John.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, you're not ready for the team, not ready for it yet, though. But you need a couple of players. You need a world-class striker, you do. And your midfield needs selecting as well, but you need another centre-back as well. If you get them in, and all the title's yours, man. I can guarantee you that sort of thing. But Claire be watching very, very closely. On to Lazio. I mean, Fee at the back again. Finished at 6th. Immobile, again, outstanding. Score banging some goals. I mean, what else can I say about this guy? I mean, he's been absolutely outstanding. Also, that McCreary, right, the guy who came for the battery, for me, I think he's hopeless.
Yeah, he just scored 4 against San Marino yesterday, McCreary. But yeah, he's not been great at all. Lazio, yeah, they're a strange club, really. I feel like with a bit of investment, they could win the league for sure. They have, Luis Alberto, Immobile, Sergio Milinkovic-Savic. They're 3 of the best players in Serie A, I think. And you've got a Serie, but they just don't seem to have the other parts around them, and the club doesn't seem to have the money I want to invest, to push on, really. I'd love to see Immobile do well for Italy in the Euros, because he doesn't play very well for Italy, really, and I think that means he's quite underrated, because in Serie A he's incredible. He can't stop scoring, and I'd like to see him do that. In the Euros, but I don't want to say too many good things about Lazio, because my best friend's from Rome and he's a Roma fan, so I'll leave it at that on my praise.
It's your chance as much as mine there. Don't worry about him. But you're right. I mean, Immobile sort of thing. I mean, look, he didn't do great, did he, at Borussia Dortmund and Sevilla sort of thing. But Torino did okay. Lazio, what can I say about him? But Milinkovic-Savic, for me, I think he needs to wait for Lazio, if I'm honest with you. He needs a bigger stage for Lazio, if I'm honest with you, because he's going to be wasted. Because at the end of the day, I just think he's in West. He should be doing more things, like move on to another Italian club, sort of thing, But I'm surprised no Premiership clubs came in for him. Whoever gets him in the Premier League, I've got a damn good player there. Scores, make scores, can tackle, can drive in midfield, and he's a big lad, 6'4". And back to the query sort of thing. They paid a lot of money for Lazio. Igor Tari, sort of thing, the sporting director, really gets it wrong on the transfer market, but unfortunately got this one wrong, dreadfully wrong, and make sure you not do it again.
Yeah. Like I said, when they don't spend that much money, if you're spending 20-30 million on a striker and he scores 1 goal, I think this season, then that's not good enough.
Not good enough at all whatsoever, sort of thing. I mean, we're going to go too quickly to Roma, and Roma 7th, very disappointed. They got Jose Mourinho back as coach, and I think his stock in Italy is very high. What a trouble at Inter Milan, and I thought when Roma got him, I thought, wow, let's hope that Juve do his magic in Italian football. I think it's going to suit him now. I think Italian football does suit him. And I think Roma will be do well next season. They're still big, but if I was Henrik Italian, I'd look away because he's at United and he wasn't good enough for him. But to be fair, Mkhitaryan done fantastic. He scored 13 goals this season, and he's been brilliant.
Yeah, I think he's been one of the only good, shining lights really in Roma's season. Like I said, my best friend is Roman, and he loves the club. He's got a fan club in the UK, AS Roma North UK, so I should shout that out. But it's been a very disappointing season for them. They seem to just get injuries upon injuries, and the squad isn't big enough to be able to cope with it. They signed Chris Smalling, and he had so many injuries. Zaniolo, who's one of the best young players in Italy, has hardly been on the pitch this season. So it's been very disappointing for them. As you say, I don't think Mourinho is suited anymore for the English game. I think he's shown that. But for Italy, he's still adored over there, especially by the Inter fans. And these links of Belotti and maybe Szczesny going to Roma, maybe because, and that wouldn't happen, I don't think, if Mourinho wasn't there. So hopefully they can use it as a catalyst, to get this massive club going again, because they're currently just, they're not anywhere near close to challenging and being as high as they should be in the table.
Yep, I have to agree with you there, sort of thing. There'll be big changes there, I can tell you, especially in the midfield. And Granit Xhaka has been linked with Roma, and Raul Patricio as well has been linked as well as a goal, that sort of thing. So you also get Premiership players coming into Italy, and if you're linked with Roma on Jose, go there, because Roma is a fantastic city to play your football. And if you can get it right, any manager gets it right, like Capello done back in 2000, you will be a legend. 2001, by the way. Going back to Stuta, cost £32 million from Fiorentina at 31-year-old. And his very first season, they won Scudetto. His scores got them there.
Yeah. My friend still talks about that season every day. So, if Mourinho can do something like that, then, yeah, he would be an absolute legend.
Absolutely. We won't talk the best of the rest sort of thing. You got Sassuolo, Roberto De Zerbi. He's left. He's gone to Shakhtar Donetsk, and who's taking his place?
I don't know if they've said yet. I think whoever takes over there is going to be whoever is going to take over there. It's going to be a difficult job for them, because what a job De Zerbi's done there. So, for people that don't know, Sassuolo, an extremely tiny club. They're well backed by a wealthy owner, but in size they're so small, and to get them this high out and missing out in Europe by just one place last day of the season is incredible, really. But I think they might start to drop down the table potentially now, because these links with Locatelli, who's probably their best player, he's going to go to a bigger Italian club, I think, next season. Raspadori, who's their new young striker, he's been linked to Inter Milan, so they might start to lose some players now, and that's what happens when you get so good. But the football they've played in the last couple of seasons has been great, and if this is as good as it does get for them, then what a season they've had, and I'd like them to at least stay competitive in Serie A for a number of years, because they've been a breath of fresh air, I think, really.
Absolutely well said. I mean, I love that team, Sassuolo and the Suburbi. I mean, you look at Lopez as well. I mean, Caputo, you've got Rogerio as well, and the goalkeepers, Costanley, he's been a fantastic keeper as well. But whoever goes in there, it's got a difficult job there. They expect to play the same style of football that De Zerbi has done. Who it's going to be, I have no idea, but we have to find out later on there. So Hellas Verona's looking for a new manager as well. Juric is gone. Like I said, that Donizzi has been linked as well, but I can't see him going anywhere. And you got our friend Claudio Ranieri. He's gone as well.
Yeah, I mean, how many managers have left already at the end of this season? Wow. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
8 or 9, maybe, something like that. So, yeah, it's so whatever happens next season, it's just going to be, extremely exciting because it's brand new. You're going to have at least 10 teams probably with different managers starting, and so it's going to be fascinating to see who's a good decision and who's a bad decision. As you said, Juric leaving Verona is a bit of a shock, really. They only got promoted a few seasons ago, and he's now led them to 10th place. I think maybe they come mid-table last season as well, so he's done a great job. He's gone back. It seems he's moved down to Torino, down in the table. They've offered him more money. Obviously, Torino are probably more historically a bigger club, but it seems maybe a little bit of a strange move, unless it was just down to money, potentially.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely strange move there as well. Got some breaking news as well. Look at Football Italiano. That Vincenzo Italiano, Spezia coach, has signed a new contract, I believe, as well. And he kept them up very first season in the Italian top flight for the first time in their history. And so he's got a 2-year deal till 2023. So Vincenzo Italiano signed a new deal up until 2023. And Udinese is turned to Moran. Rolando Moran, ex-Giro coach, because Paolo Zanetti decided to stick with Valencia. So, two kind of news according to Football Italia. So, very interesting moves. Udinese, Moran, how do you think he'll do?
Yeah, I don't actually know too much about him, to be honest. But Udinese, they always, the way that club is run is incredible, really. They are, again, a very small club, but since the 90s and even going back to the 80s, they've been in Serie A and they've been competitive. So whatever decisions the owners decide to make, I'm sure it'll be a decent one. I think Italiano staying at Spezia is that could be one of the best moves basically that anyone makes, because he seems to be an incredible coach. I'm pretty sure the stats going around last season was in his past 4 seasons, he won the playoff every year. So he won the Serie D playoff, then he won the Serie C playoff, then he won the Serie B playoff to get Spezia in there. And then now he's managed to keep Spezia up in their first ever season in Serie A. And I'm very surprised he stayed, to be honest, because there'll be bigger clubs that have offered him more money, but he must be convinced by the owners, that Spezia have long-term ambitions to stay in Serie A, so fair play to them. And that hopefully they can build their stadium bigger, so you can go to visit La Spezia to go and watch a game, because that looks like an incredible part of Italy, and I would like to visit there very much.
I've been there as well. I went there when we played Foggia a couple of years ago, Juniors each, and the fans were great. And I like the curva at the back, very over. Behind the goal, absolutely fantastic there. They've put new seats in there. I mean, the capacity is about 10,000 capacity in that stadium. You're right. If you can get a new stand somewhere, I think Spencer's a terrific place to play football, terrific place to live in as well. It's a beautiful city, beautiful small town, and I've been there twice. Absolutely beautiful. Can't beat it. If you go to the market on a Sunday morning, right, they got like a big market there, food market as well. You can taste foods, different stuff as well. And Jit is absolutely unbelievable, man. I mean, you have what you want. The food is there. Help yourselves, man. You don't get it back in this country. I'm telling you. 100% right. 100% right. And, I've got Thomas say hi, John. Hi, Thomas. Another Newcastle fan. Hope you're okay. and he's a good lad, Thomas, and I do like him as well. I did want to look at the bottom of the table as well, and you got some team Torino. I want to talk about Torino and Cagliari. I mean, Cagliari only started up because Di Pedro kept them up. Torino, I tell you what, though, Jake, they better fix up in the summer, because I tell you now, if they don't fix up in the summer, they're going to get found out. They need to get their team right. They got to get the manager. Is Nicola still there? Davide Nicola, or they got someone else in now?
Oh no, Jurek has gone there from Hellas.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
So it's a good managerial appointment, I think that for sure. But yeah, I mean, if Belotti goes then from Torino and he's been linked away, then yeah, they're going to be in big trouble. For such a historically big club, they've been flirting with relegation for a long time now, and I don't know if it's whether their owners don't have any money or whether it's just badly run. But I do worry for them if Belotti goes. And I want 3 teams to finish lower than Empoli next season so they get relegated. So I'm banking on Belotti leaving, and then Torino going down. That's one of the things I think might happen if I'm clutching at straws.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Belotti's been linked with clubs as well, and I mean, if I hope they do. I hope he does move on to bigger, better things. And Calabria as well has been absolutely outstanding. His scores is important as well.
Yeah, they seem to have decent goal scorers, but it must be the defense, and they seem to, they don't seem to invest very well in the transfer market, as far as I can tell. And they were in real trouble of going down until they got the firefighter manager in to spur them on for a few games. I mean, same as Cagliari, wasn't it? They were very, very close to being relegated, and that's a real shame. I want Cagliari to stay in Serie A. They're a historic club, and they should. Yeah. I want representation around Serie A, around Italy in Serie A. I don't just want northern teams in Serie A. You want teams from the south and teams from Sardinia in Serie A. So I think it's vital that Cagliari managed to find a way up to stay up in the next couple of seasons and rebuild again, because they were looking great. They were going for Europe in a couple of seasons ago, just fell short, and then since then have kind of started to fall down the league again.
Wow, absolutely right. I mean, Cagliari are a terrific club as well. I mean, the fans are absolutely fantastic. Never been there. I would love to go there, but Cagliari need to be in Serie A. I mean, it's great. If you haven't been to Cagliari, I've never been to Cagliari, get yourself away. They're getting a new stadium as well soon, you know what I mean? And in a couple of seasons' time, it's building, and it's going to be a super stadium as well. It's going to be fantastic for Cagliari there, sort of thing. So that's one of the places I'd love to go next season. And Torino, they need to fix up very, very quickly, sort of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I was going to say, we're going to talk about the 3 teams got promoted. Yola, Empoli, also Salernitana, and also Venezia. Congratulations to all you 3 teams. And they're lovely clubs as well. I mean, who do you think enough to stop the season? I think Empoli has. Salernitana will be interesting.
Yeah. So the pessimist in me thinks Empoli might struggle. I don't know, because last season Benevento won Serie B so well and then came straight back down. We did the same. I kind of think we have a squad built for Serie B. We might struggle, but it depends obviously on everybody in the off season. I think Salernitana is very interesting, because they're currently owned by the Lazio owner, Latito, and you can only own one team in each league. So theoretically, Latito has to sell either one of Salernitana or Lazio before the start of the season. So you think he would sell Salernitana, and they have a lot of loan players from Lazio, and all this upheaval might be a struggle for them to try and sign players, but they have a really passionate fan base, and they're a lot big. They're a big club, it's a big city, even though they've not been in Serie A for that long. So the fans could really help them, I think, in staying up, but it'll be difficult. Yeah, and then you've got Venezia, who, they're the hipster's choice, I think. They have nice kits. everyone wants to go to Venezia to watch, but they might not be able to play in Venezia next season in Venice because of the ground. It could be too small, so they're hoping they can build it bigger. And they kind of came from nowhere to get into Serie A. Really, they got relegated from Serie B 2 seasons ago, but they then got a reprieve because Palermo went under for financial reasons. So the way they've managed to get straight up into Serie A, I kind of wonder whether it might be a bit of a too big a jump for them and they might go down. But I am a champion for the small club, so I would like at least one of us to stay up this season. Who that's going to be, I don't know, but I think one of us will stay up like this season has happened with Spezia staying up. So let's
see what happens, sort of thing. I think they probably didn't take Spezia seriously. Some clubs like Tamina got walloped, didn't they? 4-1, absolutely walloped. And the team's gone there and got beat as well. And I tell you something now, right? They're not going to get beat by them again. There's no way, because they're going to find a way of doing it. I mean, Venezia, you're right. They only hold 7,500 at Pelugia Penzo as well. It's a shame. If we got for the Venezia fans, they want to be in that stadium. But they're another team who wants to have a new stadium as well. They talked about it for quite a while, sort of thing. Like, if we can get a new stadium, it's 25,000 capacity one. I think that'd be terrific, sort of thing. If it goes against right. Salernitana's all seated now, 26,000 now from 36. There, you look at the stadium, it looks quite old. But now they put seats in there, Salernitana is absolutely fantastic. It really is. And the fans and the south Curva Sur Liberiano, absolutely bouncing there, man. Absolutely bouncing. Brilliant stadium. And it's fun as well. And that's the place I like to go as well next season if I can get a ticket. But you're right. I'd like to see Venezia as well next season as well. But if they're allowed to play in the stadium, well, good luck to them. But I can't see them happening, sort of thing. So you think they're going to struggle next season then?
Yeah. I don't think it's very often, is it, that two, maybe like you get one max, I think, of the promoted teams staying up in Italy, because the jump from Serie B to Serie A is so big. So I'm hoping that Empoli are the team that stay up, and the other two maybe go down. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the others. It's probably the loan market. So whoever does better in the loan market and signing some Serie A quality players will prevail. So it'll definitely be interesting for sure.
Fantastic. We see what happens of interesting. Be very interested to see what's going to happen there. We've got the three teams relegated: Benevento, Crotone, and Parma. You're not surprised, really, are you?
No. I mean, Crotone, start with them. They conceded the most goals in Serie A history, so they deserve to be relegated. Apart from Simi, no one really shined, and maybe a couple of other players. I always thought it was a stretch for them to do well, because I watched Serie B quite a lot last season, and they kind of relied on Simi then to score the goals, and I didn't really see much else. So they've come down, which is a sad thing, because I think they have great fans, and it's another team from the south. I really like Benevento as a club, so I'm quite sad about them going down, especially after the terrible season they had 2 years ago when they hardly won a game. I thought this season they were going to do it, and they started off really well with Pippo Inzaghi as manager, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. And they didn't have a goal scorer. So if they would have had, a Simi or someone like that, they definitely would have stayed up. So it's very sad again that those two southern teams have gone down. And I mean, I think Parma being relegated is just a warning not to sack your manager sometimes, maybe, and think that the grass is always greener, because they finished 11th last season, comfortably mid-table, sacked the manager, started off terribly, sacked that manager, got the old manager back in, and then by then it's too late. And I didn't realise, I just looked at the table before this, and they only won 3 games all season. I mean, that is abysmal. So I really don't know what went wrong there. But you think Parma have got a big enough name team I think they'll do all right in Serie B next season and probably come straight back up. I don't know what you think.
They got Enzo Maresca now, haven't they? I believe
Yeah.
there's something for them as well. And what's his coaching like? What's his coaching credentials? Has he managed anyone? I'm sure he has,
He was working with Pep, I think, at City, so he was just a
of course, yeah.
coach. So they've got him in. He'll try and play good football, and I think Parma will be able to sign the best players in Serie B. So I would imagine that they would challenge for the title, Serie B title, and come straight back up next season. I worry about Benevento and Crotone coming back up, but we'll have to see.
So, I mean, Simi will not be at Crotone next season. He'll not be there next season. I can guarantee you that. He'll get picked up, sort of thing. And Parma, sort of thing, they need to improve their goal difference. Their defense is shocking. 83 goals conceded. Crotone, 92 goals. That is not good enough to be in this top league at all whatsoever. You don't survive on that at all. Benevento, 75 goals conceded. Terrible. These goalkeepers, I mean, Spencer has conceded 72 goals. But I tell you something, they have been scoring goals. That is the thing. You look at last season, Sassuolo considered 68 goals last season. That's because they're scoring goals, but conceding goals as well. And De Serbi sorted out as well, sort of thing. But if they want to get back into Serie A, Parma can turn in. We need to fix up very quickly. And Benevento, you're right, I'll feel for them as well, because I think Inzaghi is gone, and he sort of thing, which is a shame, because they really want him to stay, and he felt he had to walk away for the best of the club. So it is sad, and there you go. Just quick on the Italian national team. I mean, the squad's been named. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, it's very interesting. There wasn't really, I think, many exclusions, that were surprising. They left out Mancini from Roma, who I think he's not the best season, but he can play quite a few different positions in defence. But really, Politano from Napoli was missed out. I think he can maybe be a bit disheartened at that. But apart from that, I think the team kind of picked itself, and it's exciting. It's an exciting young squad, and I think they've really got a good chance of doing well. I think they want to get to the semi-finals at least. One exclusion I was sad for was Caputo, obviously an ex-Empoli player who has been in the Italian squad, but he didn't have a very good end towards the season. But I think it would have been, a great cap on him to his story to have been able to get to Italy in a major tournament. But I think if he would have been in the squad, he wouldn't have played ahead of, Belotti or Immobile anyway. But yeah, I'll definitely be supporting Italy in the Euros alongside England, and I think both teams should have a successful tournament, I think.
And Raspadori is in the squad as well, which is absolutely amazing for the kid. I wish him every success in that as well. He's going to have fun. But I've got Italy in their final four, to be honest, because they're playing some cracking football under Mancini. He doesn't, when he was at Man City, he didn't play that exciting football, did he? He's just a bit cautious at times. But for Italy, it could go no wrong,
Yeah, he's really seemed. I thought that. I remember him at Italy being quite City being quite pragmatic and boring, but he seemed to have seen all the players that Italy have. These young attacking, exciting players such as Chiesa, Barella, Insigne, and just thought we may as well go for it. I think he's done a really good squad job. He's kind of done like what Southgate's done with England. He shifted out the old guard and brought in all these young new attacking players, and I think that's what Italy have needed to have done for a while, and it's serving them well so far.
Sure. So yeah, I think he's doing fine, sort of thing. That sort of thing. Let's fingers crossed Italy do the job, sort of thing. So yeah, before you wrap up, sort of thing as well. I mean, go on. I know it's a bit early, but who's going to win the Scudetto next season? I know it's early, but who do you think's going to win it? Or depends on the signings, really.
Yeah, it depends on a lot of things, especially in Italy. We have financial difficulties, signing a lot of signings, a lot of managers. But if you put me on the spot, I want to say Atalanta, but I'm going to say Juventus. I'm still trained by the Italian football system to know that Juventus will come out on top. So I'm going to say Juventus.
Yeah, I think they'll find a way as well, sort of thing. I mean, what we're actually going to do is really play back the basics sort of thing, and player used to play. I think the Juve to use this time. They can't have another season like they did this season, but I just hope we'll win it again, sort of thing, because Juve needs to be huge again, and with them it's going to be Atalanta, Inter, and Napoli. I mean, Napoli will come back. Depends how Sergio Conceição does as well. And the thing's going to struggle for me. I hate to say it's going to be Valencia. I think Spezia will probably get found out this time, I'm afraid. I hope I'm wrong, but I could say your lot as well. But I think you just make it. I think you're just going to make it this time. But I think Salernitana will stay up, I think, because they got Lazio connections as well, and I think they'll probably get away with that. But for me, it's going to be Valencia, Spezia, and you know what? I think Udinese's time is up. I think I'm going to say Udinese, but they probably found a way.
Yeah, I mean, I think like DePaul, their best player, might be leaving, so that could be a good shout. I'm going to, if I had to choose relegated clubs for now, I'm going to say Salernitana, Spezia, and Torino. Could be wrong.
So
Probably
Valencia stop a lot there.
But I really like Venezia, so I kind of hope they stay up. But not to
I've got hope for them to stay. So I tell you what, I think Torino are banging job for the last few years, sort of thing. So I think it can go as well. I mean, how George going to do it, I don't know, but I could change. I mean, I'm going to change from like Spencer. I don't want them to go down, but I think their time they're going to get found out, sort of thing, like Parma style. They will find out. So them, I'll say Udinese. And probably Torino. No, sorry, I'll say Valencia. Just make it this season. I think they will be fine because they played football under Paolo Zanetti, sort of thing as well. He came from Ascoli as well. You got sat at Ascoli, didn't he? And then he took over Valencia, and the rest was history. And he got them up, and it's been brilliant. So, before I let you go, did you enjoy coming on the show?
Yeah, it was great. Thanks. I really enjoyed it. Not been able to talk about Italian football for this long with anyone, so it's been great to do that, and I hope you viewers have enjoyed as well. So thanks for having me on.
No problem at all. And where do we find you as well? Where do you find? You tell the viewers where we find you.
Yeah, just on Twitter under Calcio Supporter, and then I do some writing for Gentleman Ultra and other websites. So that's all through my Twitter. I'll link that. So cheers, everyone.
Fantastic. Well, Jake, I mean, you've been an absolute great sport. I mean, it's been a pleasure coming on the chat. And you have to get someone who knows Italian football, sort of thing. And look, I'm going to watch a lot of Italian football next season, as you well know, on TV. And hopefully I'll get to some games as well. And hopefully you see you there live as well. You just never know. And
fingers crossed we can go over there. It'll be great.
Absolutely, man. Let's hope your team do something next season, do some bits next season as well. And keep all it. And so listen, Jake, you've been fantastic, nice man. One. And thanks so much for coming on, and speak to you